Hello, and welcome to part 2, I guess, of When the Night Comes. We here gonna romance a baddie. Look at him. Look at our... Oh, wow, you can't even. My entire head is blocking him. Well, that shows you my choice. No one gets to see him but me. He's too beautiful for this world. Can't have him. Nope. Anyways, I'm so happy to be back. I feel like every time I take I don't know, every weekend, because I only stream during the week mostly, I'm just like, it's been so long. It's been 50 years since I've streamed. What is the world anymore? I don't know it. But yes, here we go. Voice acting galore. And I don't know, just digging around. So let's just get into this. Oh yeah, we're going... Oh, his name is Finn. I forgot. Okay, and we're going to on a festival date with our beloved vampire Finn. Yeah, I think that's about it. I don't think that much else happened. There's like a cult. I don't know. Anyways, the festival is overflowing and teeming with life and laughter as we push our way into the crowds that gather around the colorful stalls. I stay close to Finn, amused to see townsfolk enthusiastically waving and smiling at him. You're quite popular, aren't you? He shrugs, hands hovering close to my waist as he guides me through. We offer the town protection, so most of them tend to be quite grateful to us. There are some who are less than thrilled about my presence, though, so don't be fooled. We finally find a break in the crowd and move to stand near the edge of the market where we can see the docks clearly. Oh, this outfit is so good. It kind of looks like the Darkling, like Kefka. Oh, so good. Kefta? Is it Kefka or Kefta? I think it's a Kefta. It's fine, just me ranting about books. Whatever. Normal. It's mostly the older residents who are hesitant to trust us, and I don't really blame them. Why wouldn't they trust you? He looks away, flexing his fingers, the magic that flows through his iron arm fluttering with the movement. Because I'm still a vampire, the former head of my clan, my sire, was not interested in offering the town any kind of protection. Though we did not hunt near here, word travels. I let the silence between us linger, giving him a moment before he's turning to me with that trademark toothy grin. Let me show you how Lunaris do things, shall we? Ash, welcome! How are you? We're back to our regularly scheduled non-pumpkin programming. And Digimon. Digimon and no pumpkins. So I can finally be Ponytail again, since it won't crash through my pumpkin. What? Excuse me. Finn is obviously mine. Since we're the ones I'm the one romancing him. Right. He holds out his arm, and I take it without hesitation. Then Piper emerges from the crowd, stopping us both in our tracks. I can still look. You can look, but you can't touch. Only I can do that. Or weird dating sim me. It's okay. I vicariously live through dating sim version of myself. Then Piper emerges. Who the fuck is Piper? I don't remember. Stopping us both in our tracks. Oh, she's the general girl. She's armed, albeit subtly, and her smile is friendly as she approaches. I feel like I'm slowly remembering more of the plot the more I play it. Like, I was like, oh yeah, we're like monster hunters. Oh yeah, there was a weird cult with some, like, white-haired twins and lots of weird, and there's, like, murders and shit. Well, what do we have here? You get the attention of all the pretty ones, don't you, Casimir? Hello, Piper. Pretty ones? Oh yeah, good news. I got an acceptance letter from one of the schools I wanted to transfer to. Congrats, Ash. That's amazing. I'm proud of you. I know you were working hard on all your tests and stuff, so I'm glad it all, like, worked out the way you wanted to. I wish you best in your endeavors. Ignore her. She's just bitter that Willenheim has her doing grunt work tonight. Isn't that right, Merriman? Everyone else gets the night off. Yet here I am, shouting at drunkards for getting too handsy with the sweet stand. Finn is clearly amused by her bad mood, and she throws him a glare, but her lips curl into a smile. I get the impression these two are friendly. I think Finn is friendly with, like, everyone. Maybe not the werewolf one. I don't think I've seen them interact yet. Anyway, what are you two up to? Going to show him your dingy underground lair, Casimir? Finn rolls his eyes. The catacombs are no less dingy than that hovel you call home, I'm sure. I'm sure they're both lovely. Piper snorts, elbowing Finn in the ribs. I prefer to stay above ground. Those tunnels give me the creeps. Well, you give us the creeps, so I guess we're even, aren't we? Says the dead man. Oh man, I cannot girl voice. Are you really working tonight, Piper? She sighs and cocks her head. Yes, and I'd better get back to it, actually. No doubt Willenheim is on the lookout, just dying for me to fuck up. It was nice seeing you both. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Piper waves as she departs, shouting loudly as she goes. Fingers crossed for no horrible murders. Finn huffs a laugh, shaking his head incredulously. You two are friends, then? He shrugs. I suppose. She's all right, and she doesn't bother us. She's good at understanding we mean no harm. I think you two are quite similar, actually, so it makes sense. I've been compared to worse. I'll take it. At least she can hold her liquor. Come on, let's have a look around. He insists on showing me his favorite stall, one that overflows with a selection of beautiful parchments, colorful inks, and sketchbooks. He enthusiastically points out which notebook he purchased for Omen when he saw him scribbling on the back of Ezra's shop records one day. We turn the corner and find an exasperated Ezra perusing the herbalist stall, bickering with the sour-faced woman that owns it. Finn smiles, approaching him quietly and placing a hand upon his back to announce his presence. Is there a problem? Ezra turns, visibly relaxing when he sees him. Nothing other than her trying to stiff me for her shoddy Angelica root. I think I gave him like a Twinkie-ass voice. He mutters something under his breath and hands over his coin, stuffing the goods into his pocket. Ooh. Oh yeah, I already saw his fancy outfit before. Because I was like, what is going on with his waist wrapping? Sorry about that. I apparently take the price of goods a bit too seriously sometimes. Are you two enjoying yourselves? Finn looks at me expectantly, raising a scarred eyebrow in question. Of course. How can I not with such a wonderful guide? Glad to hear it. I'd better dash. I left Omen and Alcar at the docks to save a spot for the fireworks. Was that a good idea? Alcar probably has him halfway to Tyrus by now. That sounds right, Tyrus. I laugh, but it's probably true. Shit. More hot vampires. Yes. Welcome, Tiny. Yes, more hot vampires. Hopefully we'll see him shirtless. Ooh, that's the goal. I'll go and see if I can find them. I've already confiscated chocolate from Omen twice. He just can't resist, can he? No matter how much he complains about his tongue tingling. Enjoy the fireworks. I hear they'll be quite impressive this year. He glances at Finn and winks playfully. Behave, you. Don't I always? If you say so. Goodbye, you two. Would you like to... Oh my gosh. Would you like to watch the fireworks? We don't have to. They're not necessarily impressive. And I've seen them far more than a few times in my lifetime. But if you want... Oh yeah, he said this was like his 500th festival. Ooh. What else do you have in mind? Wink. What would you do if you weren't here with me? He ponders my question for a moment, scuffing his boots on the ground as he steps closer. Let's go for a walk. I want to show you my favorite place here in Norris. It's not far, come on. Come on, tally-ho. He takes me down to the beach. And it's small and not exactly something you would expect to see in a town like Lunaris. But the water that gently laps against the shore is soothing. Not me thinking he'd make out with you. I honestly also like, oh, what else would you be doing? And then like take me back to his room. But no, he's like, look at this beach. It's beautiful. It is beautiful. I love this rendering. But maybe we'll make out on the beach. I can see why he likes it here. I come here often. It's one of the only places that I can find a little peace, other than the graveyard. When was the last time you saw the sun? Gotta make it romantic first. That's true, you gotta set the mood. Need the candles, the romantic setting. But now he's probably gonna talk about emo shit, so maybe no making out while he's talking about his tragic backstory. I almost immediately regret asking when I see his face fall. Oh, just a good 660-something years ago, give or take. But that's okay, because I have places like this that still look wonderful in the darkness. And good company helps too. I know, time to get the emo music out. That's how you know nothing spicy is about to happen. It's too emo. Oh, maybe, I don't know. He stands close, our fingertips brushing. I shiver at the feel of his cold skin, craving that contact. Thank you for showing me. It's really lovely. He hums his agreement, and we stand in silence for a little while. The noise of the festival a distant murmur. I rove my eyes over his face, the milky glow of the moonlight spilling over his cheeks, and his dark lashes flutter as he stares up at the stars. I know, right? I'm like, kiss, bitch, kiss. My heart stutters in my chest, and I think back to his words earlier on, knowing that he's heard it. I wonder what it sounds like to him. Is it a rush? A quickening? A desperate thrum? I know, right? This is the perfect moment for a kiss. A smirk hooks the corner of his mouth, but he doesn't turn to meet my gaze. Fireworks burst across the sky, sparks scattering wildly, and Finn looks as otherworldly as he truly is, as his sharp features are bathed in ever-shifting colors. Oh my god. This is like the perfect kiss, like kiss during a firework. That sounds so cute. I look skyward, and it's only as I avert my gaze that I feel him looking at me. If they don't kiss, then I'm gonna riot. Same. We exit out of this route, open somebody else's route. Beautiful. His next words are soft. Yes, beautiful. I feel his fingers reach for mine, my breath stuttering as I meet his touch willingly. Not even the ice-cold chill of his skin could cool the impossible heat that I feel in this moment. Kiss you, bitch. I swear to God. I know, this is like, the romantic tension is freaking me out. The fireworks stop and the crowd cheers. And then there's perfect silence. Nothing but him and I, and the gentle sound of the waves lapping against the shore. My gaze drops to our loosely entwined fingers, then up to meet burning gold. With little thought and very little hesitation, yes, yes! We both lean in until our lips are but a breath apart. Then, a scream. You son of a bitch! This is the base cockblock I've ever heard of. Somebody's getting murdered when I'm trying to smooch a vampire. This is rude. Blood curdling and awful in the distance. Not the murder cockblock. Now I got an achievement for watching fireworks while somebody's about to get murdered. Oh, this is cute. Look at all them. All these hotties have got romance. Warning, any dialogue option labeled fight in this chapter will lead to scenes containing violence and gore. Player discretion is advised. Hey, I'm a horror streamer. I'm down with violence and gore. Why can't they get murdered more quietly? Yeah, why do I have to have a vampire boyfriend that can hear everything? I mean, maybe he's into it, kissing while somebody gets murdered. Maybe. He's a vampire. It could be hot. The cold winter wind whips against my skin as I run as fast as I can, sinking deeper into the ominous woodland that surrounds Lunaris. I'm hot on Piper's heels, and she's determined and hyper-focused, as am I. I know it's my job to stop people from getting murdered, but do we really have to? We were so close. There's nothing like the hunt. The way my instincts drive every feeling, my senses sharpening to a knife's edge. My every thought is fixated on winning and only winning. Can't we just let it go this one time? I know, we have not successfully stopped any murders yet, so maybe we're not about to. Maybe. But someone else do it while we make out. Yeah, Piper's got it. She looks like she could handle it. I can think of nothing else but finding the source of the distress. A terrible sense of dread swirling deep in my gut. The woods are teeming with every hunter and enforcer Lawrence has to offer. Each and every one of us silently hoping this isn't what we think it is. That this isn't the 5th victim we've all been expecting. Another of our comrades targeted and slain so brutally, and without an apparent motive. I forgot it was my coworkers getting murdered. Whoops. Killed simply for doing their job, protecting humankind. My feet pound the frost-crisp grass, tall trees with gnarled branches that curl inward like talons, almost naked from winter's grass blooming high above us. Oopsie. Yeah, it's fine. They definitely won't come for me, right? Like, it's just my coworkers, not me. I'm safe. I spot eyes glowing in the darkness, but I quickly realize that they're carved messily into the rickety tree trunks. They glow ominously, and as another gust of wind blows, I swear I see them blink. They'll be okay. We got out of our vampire boyfriend. We do have our vampire boyfriend, I think. Unless we sprinted too fast away from him at the beach. I make a mental note to remind myself to return to investigate. I'm sure they're nothing new. Not in a town like this. Piper skids to a stop, her fingers diligently hovering just over the handle of each of her daggers that sit safely in the holster at her back. Ooh, sexy Piper.
Did you hear that?
I cannot girl voice. I'm sorry.
Did you hear that?
A quiet but obvious whisper echoes among the trees. A pained groan from something unquestionably inhuman. From a creature. Piper, use a gun, you hottie. This is like the 1800s. Maybe there's no guns. I don't know. I did. I mean, I think it's the 1800s. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. It's like some weird magical town. Yeah, I don't know if guns are mentioned yet. No one's mentioned guns, I don't think. I mean, maybe. Maybe she's like, ooh, I'm sharp and cool like a razor's edge. Stab, stab. Her fingers twitch. So do mine. Eyes narrowed. Every sense razor sharp and zoned in on that singular point.
It feels young and inexperienced. It's beneath our skill level. Beneath us.
She does look cool. I know, right? Maybe you should have romanced her. She says it with such a confidence, but her guard is still firmly up. The duo of wide-eyed hunter sergeants that have been ordered to tail us arrive at our side, their cheeks rosy from the harsh bite of the wind. Maybe she'd make out with us. I know, right? She'd ditch work to make out with us. Major. Piper opens her mouth to respond, but she pauses, looking to me.
You're the highest rank here, General. Do we move on
Do we move on and let these two handle it, or do you fancy working on some tension? I want the gore. Work out some tension. In a sexy way. I could always do with working out a little tension.
That's what I was hoping you'd say. I haven't had a good fight in what feels like forever.
I turn to address the sergeants. Continue heading for the rendezvous point. If you encounter General Willenheim, tell them we're on our way. They nod a little too eagerly and run onward. The hairs on the back of my neck rise the second they're out of sight. My body is geared up for a fight, adrenaline coursing generously through my veins. Two hot besties fighting together. Yes, we're gonna take down this monster in the name of friendship. I close my eyes and clear my mind. I can hear the steady, assured thrum of Piper's heartbeat, the quiet rustle of the grass, leaves rustling in the trees. There's a lot of rustling. Then I feel it. A vampire. A youngling. Her aura is frantic and skittish. She's only just awoken. She's hungry and scared. She's trying to hide. I smile.
We're out quite far. I always used to find younglings in this area. She can likely sense that there's a clan here. She's either seeking guidance or an easy meal.
It's too dangerous to let her live. She's unstable.
Then we kill her.
Seems pretty harsh. Since I have a vampire boyfriend, I'm like, weenie vampire. She gotta die. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I don't know how our boyfriend Finn will feel about this, but okay. The youngling finally emerges from the tree line. Her vivid crimson irises surrounded by a blackened sclera. Her eyes flicker wildly as she lumbers toward us, unfocused and impossibly unsteady on her feet. This should be easy. She's clearly deprived of blood. Dark, vining veins surround her wild eyes and creep down her pale cheeks. She wears no shoes. Her feet black with mud, and her clothing is torn and saturated with blood, most of it likely her own. Hey babe, I killed a youngling. Hope you don't mind, cutie. This guy right here, literally. Hello, hello. Hello, welcome, wow, fucking Akio. I don't even know what I was gonna call you there. I was like, Dami, hello, Dami. Listen, it's fine. That's how everyone calls you. Hello, Dami. Her death was obviously not a merciful one. She's quite clearly been left to navigate her rebirth by herself, and this never ends well. Ends in slaughter of innocent lives. Her lips curl menacingly to reveal sharp fangs that she's clearly getting used to. Damn, you're right there. See? See? You put the Dami part first on purpose. You're like, hey, everyone's just gonna call me Dami. That was the goal all along. And she lunges at us without hesitation. Oh no. I'm gonna save. It's fine. I'm definitely not gonna fuck it up. Love a good Dami. Counterattack. Before she even gets a chance, I propel myself forward, lunging and knocking her off balance. I watch her stagger, her newly broken fangs bared as she scrambles on shaky legs to steady herself. I circle her, a hunter in its prey, because that's exactly what we are. She doesn't stand a fucking chance. Piper shifts somewhere behind me. Considering we've never hunted together before, our instincts are perfectly aligned. Actually, my friend started calling me that, then I just started using it for my name. You know what? We love that. We love an organic naming, unlike me, who did deep research for way too long and was just saying lots of names out loud until I liked how one sounded. Just organically coming across it. She moves, I move. It attacks, we attack. We attack. I can't words. That's so real though, Fenry. Thank you. Hey, I had a brief other life for 2 seconds. I made an account for it and everything, and then didn't like the way the name sounded, so then I deleted everything. But 6 people followed me before that, and I hadn't posted jack shit. I literally made a Twitter account, made the name, didn't have like any posts, had like random pictures for my icon and my banner, and was like, this sounds stupid, and then I deleted it. But 6 people somehow found me in like the 10 seconds, and I was like, oh god, no. That's so real though. I'm only tiny because of my short height. Aw, that's cute though, but you're a ruler. You're a tiny, like, in charge monarch, tiny monarch. She tries to attack again, screeching as she attempts to fling herself forward and attach herself to my neck. Excuse me, only my boyfriend can do that. Not today, sweetheart. I grab her arms, twisting her and holding her tightly as Piper sinks one of her daggers into her shoulder. The youngling screeches, a deafening sound that leaves my eardrums crackling. She thrashes as the silver burns her flesh, the smell of it turning my stomach. You know what's funny? You're the second person who called me a tiny monarch. See, it's because it's tiny ruler. Ruler, monarch, who knows? I don't know your pronouns, so monarch is the, or if you're like a regent, they're kind of like take over for king. Like, gender neutral, in charge royalty term. Yep, I did that. She tries to claw at the blade, leaving her fingers bloodied, even more so than they already were. I tackle her to the forest floor, pushing her face into the dirt, my knee firmly lodged against her spine. The youngling screams as Piper forcefully grabs her hair, yanking her head back. She stares her down, tactfully avoiding the snapping of her jaw, and she shakes her head.
Put her out of her misery.
We work in tandem to remove her head clean from her body. Jesus Christ. It's the only way, however violent it may be. If only our vampire boyfriend could treat us roughly like that in bed. You know, I don't think I want him to remove my head from my body, so maybe it's good we didn't have our first kiss on the beach. I feel warmth spray against my skin. the unmistakable smell of copper permeating the air. The visceral sound of tearing flesh and breaking bone fill the clearing. Then she turns to nothingness beneath us. An unrecognizable pile of blood and viscera. Yet another human life stolen and twisted into something evil. Not the head part, Henry. What other part do you mean? They're really pulling a Twilight. Are they? What part? I know Twilight pretty decent-ish. Like, I've seen the movies, and that's about it. I've not read the books. Oh, let me snooze this ad. Whose head did they rip off? Is it Carlisle in part 2? I cried. No, I'm kidding. I didn't cry, but I had like 3 favorite characters, and they all immediately died, and I was so salty. And then it was like a dream or some nonsense, or most of them died. I was like, I like Boo Boo Stewart, Carlisle, and Alice. And Boo Boo Stewart and Carlisle died in like 10 seconds, and I was like, ah! But then they were fine, because it was a vision. We love Twilight, obviously. Hello. Oh, I got an achievement for killing that thing.
Well, that was fun.
She's literally blood covered. I brush the dirt from my knees and take a deep breath, watching Piper clean off her bloody daggers on the grass. It was so shitty that they made it into a vision and not an actual fight. Hey, I'm not mad, because my favorite characters all died. So I'm okay with it being a vision. I watched it for the first time, like the whole series, like a couple years ago, like during pandemic. And my friend I was watching with them had seen all of them. And I was just like screaming the whole time. And they were like, tee-hee. Because I was like, okay. I was like, I know there's a big fight. I only care about these characters. And then like fucking one of them died. And I was like, ah! And then the other one died. I was just screaming. And they were like, my roommate was just like a friend roommate, whatever, was just like laughing at me forever. I hate how they made Jacob so damn weird in the later movies and books. Oh yeah, I'm like, you can't, anyone who says Team Jacob is just wrong, because they both suck. They're both really problematic, but Jacob is like significantly more problematic. As someone who recently watched them with like an adult viewing and had no prior context, Jacob is crazy. And he's a stalker, and not in a cute way, in like a weird possessive way where he has no right to be possessive. He's just like the weird friend you have that for some reason thinks you're going to end up together, even though you've literally shown him no interest in him. And then he's just like, I don't know. Whenever he got hot, he got really douchey. Should have left Bella's baby alone. He was mad weird. Yeah, I know. The baby thing was weird. All of it was weird.
You named my daughter after the Loch Ness Monster? What?
I brush the dirt from my knees and take a deep breath, watching Piper clean off her bloody daggers on the grass. We should really get going. We talking about Twilight? We are talking about Twilight, Ash. I got a lot of feelings. I'm a newish fan. And so now I'm like, it's problematic. Yeah, making fun of Jacob. Dunk on Jacob. Always dunk on Jacob. I support Boo Boo Stewart. No Jacob. She turns to face me, and I spot that her face is covered in a dark splattering of crimson. Okay, no, we're going for our vampire. I'm sorry. I would love to get that for you, but not this time. Got red on you. I point to my own cheek, tapping it gently. She looks at me like I'm an absolute idiot. You've got blood on your face. So we going to question Edward looking at Bella as she slept and people thought it was romantic? You know what? No, Edward's fine. He's not the best because he ditched her that one time for being a drama queen. Like, he's just like a dramatic hoe. But I don't know. I can forgive his sins. But no, Jacob is the worst. The sleeping thing was weird though, because like he like broke in without her consent or whatever. He is a dramatic hoe, but at least he's not as weird as Jacob. That is true. Is it because he's a vampire and you're biased? I am biased, but also no. No, he's just like, they're both toxic as fuck, but like Edward is significantly less bad. Like if you watch all of them now and just pay attention, like maybe I just know a lot about like red flags in relationships from experiences, life experiences. But Jacob has so many more. There was which movie is it? It's either the second or third movie. He is like, I think it's the third movie, but Jacob is so so awful to Bella the whole time and somehow still expects her to love him. And I'm like, it's so bad. Edward fucking the hell out of Bella that she got hell bruises, man, was not holding back. Yeah. But I'm like, still, at least he likes her actually and doesn't think of her as a weird object.
Oh, well, what's new?
Oh man, another ad. Get out of here.
You do too. Are you stealing my look?
I shrug, scrubbing at my own skin with the sleeve of my coat just to be sure. It comes away a deep crimson. I call it Hunter Cheek. Chic. Piper rolls her eyes, sheathing her dagger and swiping at her face. She huffs as the slowly drying blood smears across her russet skin. Wait, didn't they get married at the end of high school? They did. They did in fact get married. Man, I remember the Jacob versus Edward fights when I was in 3rd grade. Ugh, Ash, you're making me feel old. That was like 8th or 9th grade for me.
Piss. Go on.
Why did she just randomly say piss? I study her carefully, nodding my approval. Clean as a whistle, or at least as clean as someone who hasn't just slain a feral, murderous vampire.
Bad at jokes. Why am I not surprised?
She takes a deep breath, looking around the now eerily quiet clearing.
We'd better get going. August will have an absolute bitch fit.
Piper tilts her head to the side, a loud crack as her bones click into their rightful place. Ooh, that's a mood.
Let's dash.
She uses like such weird slang. It's easy to tell what we're dealing with as we draw nearer to the scene. Dozens of hunters and enforcers are varying ranks saturate the small clearing. The majority of them still dressed in their festival attire, much like Piper and I. We spot a retrieval team emerging from the tree line. Their faces are pale and drawn. It's then that I know. They didn't make it. Oh my god. Ugh, I wanted to go for August. But everyone said go for the vampire, and I was like, no, give me my non-binary beautiful person. At least she's not saying, let's go Skibbity Ohio Rizzler to the Phantomax. Hottie, I know. I was like, Ash, you're the one who said go for vampire, and I was like, I want to go for August. They're so sexy, even though they're kind of a bitch. I usually go for the bitchy characters. I don't know why. Like Mean Girl vibe is kind of, or like rich snob one. I'm like, hello? Oh my god. I didn't say that. I don't know. I feel like it's fine. I'm going after, we're doing August next run, or the werewolf. Oh god, I think I did like some weird snobby voice. I could be a bit of a mean queen. Where? I feel like I'm nice, maybe. You're here.
We are. We ran into some trouble on the way, but we took care of it.
Somewhat snobby. How am I snobby? I'm down to earth. I'm I don't know, a man of the dirt. You do have a voice of a brat. Wow. Listen, I'm a saint. That's why I'm here in the underworld, alone and sad. I'm more of a mean queen. Oh, Ash, you're not that mean. You just talk spicy. Like mean, like snarky spicy, not like... I mean, I'm both. All versions of the word spicy.
We ran into some trouble along the way, but we took care of it.
I gathered that's why you were so late. It's fine. Obviously, such things cannot be prevented.
I feel like I did that. I need to go a little weird, more ridiculous that.
It's not good news, as I'm sure you can tell.
I like vaguely remember the voices from last time. It's fine. They get slightly new voices every time. My heart sinks. I knew, but hearing it out loud is still unpleasant. Oh my gosh, I was at Spirit Halloween the other day for their super sales, and I almost bought like a ridiculous fur coat. It was like the freaking the Kenough one, like Ken's like from Barbie. It was a huge white fur coat. I'm like, do I need this? Will I ever wear this? Is it too much of a pimp coat, or is it just like bougie coat? I feel like the line is very thin. But there is this like one I saw on Hot Topic a couple times that was, ooh, chef's kiss. It was like huge fur collar, and I'm like, that's such a vibe. Do we have an identity? They shake their head, brushing the front of their fur coat that I'm sure they're less than happy about wearing in such a situation.
We cannot identify the...
Their voice catches.
There is no body. Again, nothing but... Well, I don't know. I don't need to repeat such monstrous details. You've read the reports from the previous murders. Much of the same ghastliness.
Oh man, there's an ad coming up and I can't snooze it. I'm sorry. I ran out of snoozes. I snoozed this last snooze that I could snooze. It's in 3 minutes and it is 1.5 minutes long. So, yeah. Piper scoffs, her shoulders tensing, and I swear I can see tears in her eyes. She's hurting and angry. So angry that I can feel it. Goose flesh prickles across my skin thanks to our close proximity, and my own emotions waver with the sheer force of it. This is fucking ridiculous. Give me a sec. This cannot keep happening. August, meh. I flinch, feeling the surge of energy as August reacts. The smell of ozone is suddenly thick in the air. Sorry, I'm just opening Stream Manager on my phone. The smell of ozone is suddenly thick in the air. Words. I know words. There's a flash in the darkness, and violet sparks crackle about their clenched fist, their eyes alight.
Thank you, Piper, for your input. I didn't know this was upsetting. I assumed everyone was enjoying this.
A dozen eyes turn to look at them, and they quickly calm themselves. August looks beyond exhausted, as always. The skin beneath their eyes is purple, their cheeks drawn. Piper opens her mouth to retaliate, but wisely decides against it. This actually might be the first time I've seen her look guilty. August averts their gaze as if they can't bear to look at her. They're upset too.
I suggest you keep your thoughts to yourself in such a situation, unless you have any useful insight.
It's not a question.
Yes, sorry, General.
I thought as much. We're all hurting, Piper, not just you.
August sighs deeply, sparing us both a woeful glance before they address the gathering forces.
Hunters, any majors present will patrol the immediate area. Generals will head further afield and begin an extensive perimeter search. I want no stone unturned here.
Oh yeah, this is really... Oh wait, do I have an ad? Ad starts in 24 seconds. I'll say words after the ad. I fully forgot about things I needed to talk about in the beginning, but you know what? We're here. I'm drinking some water, because that voice I do for August kind of hurts. Blue.
Any juniors need to get the hell out of here. You're not equipped to even think about dealing with whatever this thing is, and I won't be responsible for your demise. Anyone else present is to report back to headquarters immediately. We'll need people on the ground in order to reassure the townsfolk. I don't want this causing widespread panic. It's damage control time.
There's a quiet, subdued grumble of, "Yes, General," and they all dutifully begin to obey August's orders, disappearing in various directions. Would you like me to join the perimeter search?
No, I'd like you to go home.
Honk! Welcome, Nova! We here romancing a vampire, but we're also talking to very sexy August. Look at this outfit. I feel like I feel like I mostly wear this outfit. Honestly, the only thing I don't have is the fur coat. Like, I wear similar all the time. Blue. Sorry, the ad is on.
Leave this to the others. We need you ready for anything that may transpire overnight.
Of course. Piper fidgets, uneasy. Yes, Ponytail Fenry, since I'm not in a pumpkin, and I couldn't ponytail in the pumpkin because it would ruin the illusion so bad. My, ponytail crashed through the pumpkin fully. It's fine. I broke free of the pumpkin, and now we're Digimon again.
What?
You're a major, aren't you? If you were listening, you'll know what I asked of you.
The tension between them is yet immensely unpleasant. Yet again, immensely unpleasant.
Of course, General.
She should have expected such a response, and I wonder if she'll ever learn. Or maybe she's hoping to rile them up. I can't tell. She throws me a quick, pitiful glance before she glares at August and turns to join her comrades.
Later.
August massages their temples, inhaling sharply. I notice that their hands are trembling, and I unconsciously take a step towards them, fearful that they might pass out. They hold out their hand.
I'm fine, really.
Oh, look at the blushing.
General.
I appreciate your concern, Hunter Helsing. Really. Anything that ails me is my fault and mine alone. Now please, head back. I meant it when I said I need you rested. You'll be the first to hear of anything significant happens. I'll send a message to retrieve you when the victim has been identified.
How would they identify them? He's like, they said earlier that there was straight up nobody. That it's just a pile of bleh.
Of course. Good night and stay safe.
If you think I'm staying out here in this for another second, you're sorely mistaken. I have a mountain of paperwork the size of the ABEC on my desk. Farewell, Fenry.
I take a final look at the scene where the Enforcer witches have cast their mage lights over a bloodied patch of grass, leaving them to their work no matter how much I long to investigate. After that outburst, it's best not to question my Enforcer's request. I bow my head before I turn, eager to get out of here. As I head back through the woodland, I notice how eerily silent it is. A strange sense of calm washes over me, then a whisper.
Harry. I stop dead in my tracks, my hand hovering over my weapon. I see nothing. I feel nothing, no matter how hard I concentrate. Then I realize that voice, the familiar yet subdued ache that begins to creep into my temple. James.
You deserve to know.
I can't with a stupid whisper voice. The pain ebbs and flows, my breathing growing unsteady, almost as if something weighs heavy upon my chest. The fleeting, comforting calm that had just settled over me is snatched away as his voice continues to echo in my mind. I think James is like one of our coworkers that got murdered.
No, what?
I'm sorry. A sharp burning pain shoots up along my spine, and I fall to the ground. That was great, LMAO. Thanks, Nova. I'll just awkwardly whisper into the mic.
The snow-covered grass is wet beneath my fingertips, and his words were cut off. And after a moment, I'm yet again surrounded by a blissful silence. Fucking ghosts. I drag myself to my feet, and now I only have one thing on my mind. One thing that I must do.
Visit the Lieutenant General. Find out what the hell is happening to me. I say, we're going back to August. We just saw August 2 seconds ago. It's because they're sexy. I'm thinking of any excuse to go hang out with them. After having no... Oh, wait. No, I guess it's not August. Because August is non-binary. This must be that old man. After having... The kind of hot old man. After having no luck finding him in his office, I head to the only other place I assume he may be at this hour. The door to August's office is thankfully ajar, so I peek around the frame, finding Harry standing alone. He has a report in his hand, his coat hung on the back of August's chair. He looks exhausted, his eyes red-rimmed. However, when he notices me, he still offers me a bright, earnest smile. Look at him. See, sexy old. Doesn't have a jacket on.
Fenry, I can tell you how relieved I am to see you safe.
My throat feels tight, and I can't quite place why. It's because he's hot. Yeah. Ash calling dibs on everyone. James is doing a good job of making it difficult for me to stop thinking about him. The pain I felt from his final moment was raw, like an exposed nerve. For some reason, when I think of it,
I now think of Harry. I need to know why he wanted me to come here. Why everything seems to point back to the man standing before me.
Say the murderer.
I need to tell you something, but I need you to promise me that you won't think I've lost my mind. Harry narrows his gaze, nodding once.
Go on.
I mean, if the MC throat is feeling tight, looking at Harry, he can make my throat raspy. I mean, what? Look, he looks too nice. I mean, maybe not. Maybe he's a rough lover. Who knows? I visited the graveyard a few days ago while I was getting my bearings. He stays silent, but I can't help but notice the way his knuckles bleed white as he tightens his fist. That's a weird way to put that. I felt an overwhelming sense of grief there. Pain. A yearning for lost love. A sense of failure and crippling sorrow. Oh yeah, I forgot we also have like the weird power of like the... Was it synesthesia or something? Where you like touch stuff and you can feel its emotions or the history of what it had. Also, look, Ash, I'm sorry, he's married. He's got a ring. He's got a wedding ring on his left ring finger. That means he's married. Psychometry. I think synesthesia is the thing where you can like taste colors. I thought of nothing at the time. I thought nothing of it at the time. It's not unheard of for those moments, for those that have been murdered to feel scared or sentimental in their final moments, in my experience. But Harry drops his gaze, his bright eyes sad and edged with tears. My words threaten to catch in my throat, but I relent. The other night I visited again. It was almost like something was pulling me there. I heard more, not just a memory this time. He spoke to me. He looks like he'd seen a ghost. He stares at me wide-eyed, quickly swiping at his cheeks. Oh my god, maybe that was his... Was that his husband? Was Harry his husband? Oh wait, this is Harry. James. Was James his husband? I'm many things. A jerk, a jackass, a wisecracker, an ice bitch queen, and I lost my place. Listen, he's grieving over his dead husband, I think.
Oh, James.
I get the horrible feeling that he's been waiting for this. I need to know. He nods, clearly understanding. Then he takes a deep, shuddering breath. Oh, right, I'm many of those things, but I'm not a homewrecker. You're like, yeah, no, I'm just some of those things. No, but just, yeah.
James was assigned as my very first hunter. The moment we
Oh, I think I fucked up his voice.
The moment we both graduated at 18, he'd shown remarkable promise in school, basically skipping all of the junior nonsense that they force upon you. I too had impressed. So we were placed together in the hopes that we'd become unstoppable. We were inseparable in the field together for decades, until I took this post as a lieutenant general.
A pause, and another deep breath, one that shakes.
But, as well as being my subordinate, he was also my partner.
I knew it was his husband.
My husband.
Aha! I can read into subtext. I'm sorry your husband's dead and then I'm laughing about it.
My heart sinks, bile rising in my throat. I've read countless reports about him in the infamous Hunter Lane over the years. But I never knew his first name or anything about him other than his incomparable work. Official records tend to omit personal details for the safety of the hunter or enforcer in question, unless they become a leader like Harry. They were inimitable. I've never heard that word in my life. The best of the best.
Way to soften the blow, Fenry. Real subtle. You can be right guidance counselor or not. I could never be a guidance counselor. I have like minimal empathy. Like, I don't know. Take testosterone. It kills your emotions. Yeah. I'm good at understanding like relationship issues though. So maybe I'd help with that. But I would just be like, don't be sad. Here, have some candy.
Every young trainee aspires to be just like Hunter Lane. To think that he's just gone, and what Harry must be going through. I'm so sorry, I had no idea.
For nearly 10 years, but we'd known each other forever. I failed the hunter initiation quite dramatically, and he was taken away to his father's home country to train to become what I'd always dreamed of becoming. Life had other plans for me, but we still found each other in the end. He used to joke that we were destined. The romantic fool. I really don't think it's sunk in that he's gone just yet.
They were mates. Ooh. If anyone reads some, I don't know, ABO nonsense. Or mate nonsense. I read a lot of weird books. I'm reading this werewolf one now, and it's very mates, but I'm so into it. It's so good. I'm dying. I kind of get in this mood where I start reading a book, and if it's really good, I have to immediately finish it within like 3 days, or I will go insane and stop doing everything else. Title, please? Well, it's the fourth one. You've probably read the first one. The first one's Wolf Song, but I'm reading Brother Song, because the Heart Song and Brother Song were so good. Like, Wolf Song and Raven Song were fine, but oh my god, Heart Song destroyed me. And now, yeah, Brother Song is also destroying me. But it's just like, I don't know, the writing style just makes me go like, ah! Like finish it in like 3 days, even though it's like 500 pages, like a maniac. I don't know. I think it's the ADHD, maybe, because I can only read books or play video games. It's hard for me to, or like Honkai specifically, because that's my other random thing I do that is not streaming. I have such a one-track mind, kind of.
I keep thinking he's going to walk through my door, covered head to toe in blood and grime with a stupid, wonderful grin on his face.
Oh yeah, Mates and Fated Pairs. Ooh, heck yeah. Yeah, it's so good. I'm gonna be like, since this is the last one in the series and I have like 50 pages left, I'll be like, that weird slump afterwards where I'm like, what do I do with my life now?
I notice how his eyes light up when he talks about him.
They say that people deal with grief differently, but I haven't quite figured mine out just yet. I apologize for not telling you, but it was important to me that I could trust you first. My judgment has been impaired, I'll admit it, though this turn of events isn't exactly what I expected. All I can think about now is justice, about the others that died before him, and what we could have done to stop it. What I could have done to stop it. What did he tell you when he spoke to you?
His words waver, and he mindlessly fiddles with his wedding band, eagerly awaiting my response. I think about what Ezra said, about being careful who I share this with. Did that warning apply to the Lieutenant General of all of Escria?
He's kind of sketchy, but I feel like I should tell him the truth since it's his fucking husband. I feel like that's the good person thing to do. See, Ash, I'm a good person. We're telling him about what his dead husband said.
He told me to leave, that he failed, and that there's no hope. He swallows thickly.
On occasion. What? Oh, I forgot to say the thing I was going to say before the ad. Yeah, I added some new channel point redeems. I added a non-binary voice one where you could be a very good pet. And then I also added one where it's like a shit ton of points where if you just lurk all the fucking time, you can maybe earn it eventually, but I'll do an art commission for you. If you use that redeem, it is a bust. Like my normal art style bust commission, but it'll be free, just channel points cost. I think I made it 20,000, so good luck! I don't know how long that'll take. I don't understand the point system, but it's there. Oh, man, okay. Okay, give me a sec. It's 30,000.
Nova, have you been a good girl? I think you've been a very good girl.
Do you know what good girls do? Good girls save 30,000 channel points to get a commission, obviously. But I know you've been a good girl. Just for you, I'm playing Outlast again on Thursday.
But yes,
you're a very good girl.
How dare I? How dare I make it? I can switch it to 20k. I just didn't know how much was a lot. Because I have some of my other things are 1,000. So I'll figure out the conversion. I'll set it to a reasonable amount. I'll just need to actually look up how much, like, if I stream for 3, like, you know what I mean? Like, how long it would take. Obviously, should save 30k. And Outlaws Pog, yes. Even though I will scream a lot. From shock, not from scared, from annoying. Yeah, channel point stuff is alchemy. Like, oh my god. Yeah, I saw somebody who was doing... I was somewhat inspired by somebody I saw a while ago who has a model commission, but it's worth like 1 million channel points. And they're like, if you watch every single one of my streams for an entire year and a half, you can get it. And I'm like, that's insane. And I'm like, it does encourage people to watch, but that's next level. I'm not doing shit for 1 million. And I was like, also, that's why I'm just like a bust. Like, a normal art bust. That would probably be worth like, for a bust, I would probably charge like 60. So I'm like, your time and their 30,000 in points is worth 60 of me dollars, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends on the character. Probably around there.
He swallows thickly, his expression unchanging. I got the impression he wanted to say more, but I don't know how he managed to communicate with me in the first place. I think he can only say so much before he fades away. It feels like a great struggle for him to reach out. I cannot explain it.
Yeah, mathematical. Yeah, I will do research and change the price, the amount appropriately depending on how I'm feeling. Like, I'll change it. You know what I mean? Like, I'll do research and change it once, and then not change it again. Like, I think maybe like a month and a half of stream watching sounds like a good amount. I guess, I don't know, or 2 months. I don't know. Well, we'll figure it out.
He closes his eyes tight, shaking his head as if he can't bear to hear anymore.
I'll need you to speak to Augustus about this. They know more about psionic magic than anyone here. I'm sure they'll be able to help you figure this out. I do not trust anyone else.
Then, a hopeful look.
Did he truly not say anything else?
He didn't. But the first night that I felt him, I could tell how much he loved you, Harry. You were all he could think about in his final moments. He laughs quietly.
Yes, well, he's all I can think about too. A curse now, I suppose.
God damn, this is depressing as hell.
Silence hangs heavy between us, and I don't quite know what to say next. He looks devastated. Understandably. He must have so much on his mind already with that latest murder and now this. The way he came alive when he spoke about James didn't go unnoticed. And I wonder if maybe talking about him would lift his mood. There's a lot of hunters out there that can only aspire to be half as brilliant as Hunter Lane. I would love to hear what he was like if you don't mind. His somber expression disappears, and he seems to brighten up a little.
He was a cocky son of a bitch, but it worked well for him in the field. He was never careless, though.
Aw, his little smiling face. Cute.
I often found myself watching him instead of paying attention to whatever was attacking us. Luckily, he could fight well enough to protect us both, or I'm sure we'd have been in trouble. A lot of enforcers choose to stay cooped up in a stuffy office, away from all the danger. Working with James made me not want to miss a thing.
He digs into his coat pocket, retrieving his wallet and pulling out a small weathered photo. He pauses, staring me down as if he has reservations, but then he hands it over.
Aww, look at them, young and sexy.
It's of him and James. They look young, beyond happy, and impossibly in love.
Look at those jawlines, damn.
We were unable to be around. Oh, unbearable to be around, I'm sure.
Cute. Yes, they're so cute.
I studied the genuine smiles, the way their fingers are laced together. I may not know James aside from the voice in my head, but I feel a strange connection to him, as if I've also known him forever. Thank you for showing me.
It's probably because he's like talking to us from beyond the grave.
He tucks the photo back into its place right beside a neatly folded up letter.
Well, apparently he appears to have taken a liking to you. It's only fair for you to put a face to the name, I suppose.
He stares down at his hand, once again twisting his wedding band. His expression is neutral when he meets my gaze, but in a split second, his disposition shifts to the stiff formality I'm so used to when dealing with figures of authority. I gather that our conversation about his dearly departed is over.
What happened tonight could have been prevented. It's unacceptable that we were so aware of the looming threat, and yet we let our guard down and lost another life. This cannot happen again.
Wait, give me a second to burp. That was like a hiccup. Nope. I'm good. Wait. Give me a sec. Cat is screaming. Let me see what it little shit wants. Come on, come in. Go. He's gonna want to be let out again in like 0.5 seconds. Just you wait. Right. He said yes.
I nod, agreeing wholeheartedly.
Meow meow, kitty, meow meow, hear my cry. Pip, meow meow. He's just staring at me.
I nod, agreeing wholeheartedly, but I cannot shake the feeling that, yes, this could have been prevented if it weren't for the festival.
I mean, I feel like if someone says they're gonna murder someone every day, I don't think that, like, you know what I mean? I feel like they'll find a way, no matter what.
The festival he was so adamant went ahead despite others' clear apprehension, including August. I think better of pressing the matter. Harry suddenly doesn't seem like a man willing to admit fault.
Did you speak to the twins as I requested?
I did, as I'm sure you expected. I didn't get much out of them.
Yeah, because they're weirdos.
A quiet hum, which I think is an indifferent agreement, and Harry sighs heavily.
They are rather adept at both lying and sheer avoidance.
I am interested in speaking to the brother alone, though. There was something off about him. Like he just didn't want to be there.
I swear to God, I just let you in. Hey, come here. Hey, come here. Oh my God. Cat wants to go outside again. I swear to God, I'm gonna start a fight. I'll fight you.
I also came across a letter outside the building, one that was addressed to him. The language looked demonic.
Rise up, Pivot. Overthrow the tyrannical Fenry. Don't overthrow me. Don't get opposable thumbs and learn to open doors. Actually, I feel like that would help my cause. He could just let himself out.
He clears his throat and flicks his eyes to the side, so he has no interest in humoring me any longer.
There's nothing more you can do here until we've identified the victim. Get some rest. It's late. You're dismissed, Hunter Helsing.
Though I'm used to being addressed in such a manner, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't perplexed by the shift in his demeanor.
It's because we were talking about the twins and demonic language. I don't know, he's sketchy. But I don't think he would kill his own husband unless they were having marital issues.
I chalk it down to grief, just like he said, but I can't help but feel like maybe I've disappointed him somehow. I turn around and I quietly leave. Snow is still falling as I step outside.
This is very strange looking snow. It looks like clouds.
Though the hour is late, there's certainly no peaceful quiet in Lunaris tonight. The streets outside of headquarters are bustling with hunters, enforcers, and everything in between. I keep my head down as I make my way towards the wolf. I fall into a trance as I replay my conversation with Harry over and over, trying to pinpoint the exact moment that made him change his attitude so drastically. I'm snapped back to reality when I bump into something cold and hard. Ooh. Finding a pair of familiar golden eyes staring back at me when I look up.
Oh yes, our boyfriend.
Fenry, distracted, are we?
I made him so more vaguely British.
I step back, brushing down the front of my coat. I can see that his lips are on the cusp of curling to the side in a vaguely amused smirk.
Give us the kiss! Since this bitch would not kiss us at the beach, or we almost were kissed, and then... Nope.
Interrupted by bloody murder.
Rar, grr, woof woof, bark bark, froth, foam, froth.
You could say that. It's been a long night. He offers me a sympathetic look, shoving his hands firmly into his coat pockets as a duo of enforcers pass by. They make a point to glare at him, and by proxy, at me for being near him. Yes! La, la, la. Obviously. Listen, it's something about the chest hair is doing it for me. I don't know what. Finn dutifully avoids their gazes like a man who has had centuries to perfect feigning indifference to the way people like to treat me, like me treat him and his kind. Wow, I cannot words. I can imagine. I'm just glad to see that you're okay. I was worried for you when you ran off back there. It's the eyes that get me. I'm no sailor, but I'm ready for some motorboating. I know, right? Look at those. Right on display. And I mean his eyes, not his titties. I mean, his eyes are very cool. It's just also the outfit. Something about it. I love like a royalty and like prince vibe. Just something. I need to do art of me in like a prince outfit because that is my shit. Just for funsies. The most gaudy nonsense ever. Blah, blah, blah. I can imagine. I'm just glad to see that you're okay. I was worried for you when you ran off back there. Oh, yes, that. With the flare of adrenaline that the hunt had granted me, I'd foolishly almost forgotten about the stolen promise of his cool lips against mine. I feel like kissing cool lips might be kind of strange. Like, I don't know what it feel like. Wouldn't it just feel like, I don't even know, like putty? Now it feels like a dream as I stand on this snow-covered street, but Finn is all too real. Also, I have an ad coming up in 2 minutes. I'm sorry. I clear my throat, distracted by the thought of it. I mean, I'm probably gonna chug water for like a minute of it, and it's only a minute and a half long, so, eh. I'm sorry we were so rudely interrupted by somebody screaming as they were dying. He laughs, and the sight of his wide, toothy smile is enough to make me forget my troubles, even if for just a fleeting moment. I mean, it'd be like a cold sting, but genuinely warm up as you kiss him, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how well heat transfers to, like, vampire lips. Fangs. That is true. We do love fangs, but I also have fangs. And the werewolf would have fangs. And not cold lips. He laughs, and the sight of his wide tooth... Oh, did I already say that? I did say that. Somehow Finn always serves as a good distraction. Nothing like a good murder to ruin such a moment. You know, they'll never have your head for treason if they hear you joking about such things. Regardless, I really am happy that you're safe. I had fun with you. I should hope that you did. It would be hard not to. Ew. He turns to check that the street is clear, turning back to me with a serious look. I have my clan patrolling the woods. I'll ensure that they're out until dawn, searching if necessary. Anything we can do to help find whatever, or whoever is doing this.
I don't get why he's not mad that we killed, like, a child vampire. Wait a sec, let the cat out. Sorry. You gotta decide, coming in or going. Just do one or the other. Also, sorry if I just bumped the mic with my chair. Did my headphones just die? No. Oh, I just turned down the volume accidentally. Guys, I'm dumb. It's fine. I like, my headphones have like a volume thing, and every time I take them off, it like goes way down. Because I accidentally touch it or something.
I'm grateful for the assistance, and I certainly can't say I've ever had an entire clan of vampires as allies before. I'm optimistic that their help will be of great value to me. That's very kind. After an indecipherable pause, Finn's expression drifts somewhere far away. You know, I was out there just now. I picked up a scent. Something familiar. Familiar how? He steps closer and there's a certain air of caution in the way he addresses me, as if he's unsure that we're truly alone.
Oh, ad time. Let me chug some water.
Hydration, so I don't lose my voice tomorrow.
Thanks for the posture check, Nova. Ooh. I just cracked all the things. Always. Ugh. Ugh. Oh my god. I started working out again, and now I'm sore all the time. It's fine.
That means it's working if I'm sore.
I'm actually doing something, feeling the burn. Okay.
I didn't get to hang around. There were too many enforcers. But the blood on that stone we found in the graveyard, at the scene of...
Fenrir getting that pump. Yeah, right. I feel like it is impossible for me to get jacked. I just want to get toned. Like, I don't know. I feel like to get jacked, you have to have, like, more body mass in general. Like, I think there's a way to do it. Like, a science behind it. And I don't know. I feel like it's a lot of work, and I don't have a personal trainer. So, yeah.
He pauses, apprehension clouding the way he looks at me. His next words are glum as dead as his demeanor. Of Hunter Lane's death. He's testing the waters. If the way he holds my stare is anything to go by, waiting to see how clued in I am. I know about him, Finn. I spoke to Harry just now. He might be a vampire. The look that crosses his face momentarily isn't exactly subtle. He casts his eyes away from me, the frown that settled at his brow softening around the edges. He licks one of his fangs, thinking with a forlornness that suits him a little too well.
Ah, yes. He looks like he's meant to be looking into the window, waiting for his lover to return from the sea. I can see that. That's the vibes he's giving me.
I see. And how did that go? I shrug because I can't really offer him anything else. I feel deflated and defeated. Not great. He's in mourning, and I don't think he's in the right mind to be making decisions. Finn purses his lips, contemplating my statement. That's a bold way to speak of your Lieutenant General, but I don't doubt your instincts. I've lost loved ones too, and it's never easy. The mind needs time to heal after such trauma, and all Harry is doing is delaying his grief. Eventually he throws a half-hearted smile, but I sense it's something pitiful rather than friendly. I suspect my frustration with my current predicament is glaringly obvious without him having to read my thoughts. I'm sorry you've been kept so in the dark. I can sense that you're frustrated, and I don't blame you. As much as I may not agree with certain information being withheld, it certainly is for your safety. It's funny because everyone keeps saying such things, but it certainly doesn't feel like anything other than sheer avoidance. He removes a hand from his pocket, running long fingers through his hair with a knowing exhale. Yes, well, I cannot excuse anyone else's behavior, but I can apologize for my own. Come by the catacombs when you get a chance. I have some things we can discuss that may help.
Long fingers. Yeah, you got those piano hands.
Though spending some time underground in a tomb sounds less than appealing, Finn doesn't look like the kind of man who lives in squalor. Plus, any information is valued, and Finn has lived here long enough to know the ins and outs of this strange little town. Thank you. I'll take you up on that as soon as I can. He tips his head, encouraging me to follow him towards the wolf, I assume.
Ooh.
Come on, I'll walk you home.
Yum.
I am eager to get inside, and with a few strides I catch up to him, falling in step. I don't require an escort now. Everyone seems set on ensuring I'm safe, but you all seem to forgetting I was the one brought here to save the day. Supposedly. He purses his lips in an obvious attempt to stop himself from laughing, and I watch the bob of his throat as he swallows the noise. I'm aware that you require no assistance, but think about the hunters that were killed. They were of your caliber, your rank, the best of the best, as the enforcers love to say. The thought of you ending up like them is not a pleasant one.
I wonder if you can die in this game. Probably. Wonder if I could get murdered.
We may not have known you for very long, but we don't want to see you get hurt. I've certainly grown quite fond of you. I try to hide my smile, but it's hard when he's being so wonderfully charming. Very well, but no coddling, understood?
No, that would be so sad. I know, right? I'll die in his arms. I've always loved you. One day we'll actually get a smooch in the afterlife. Or maybe he would turn me into a vampire. Ooh.
Yes, General. He laughs again when he catches sight of a dramatic eye roll.
The dramatic roll of my eyes.
Sidestepping with startling grace to avoid the elbow that I launched towards his ribcage. We walk quietly through the streets, the cobblestones glistening with frost. The moon is full and hangs low in the sky, as it always seems to here in Lunaris, and Finn exhales sharply to break the silence. I glance at him, too tired to ask him any of the hundreds of questions that run through my mind. I think he knows, somehow, because he also seems to have something on the tip of his tongue. We step outside the wolf, the lantern that hangs above the door dark thanks to the late hour. I glance up at the now familiar sign, a scrappy-looking white wolf howling at the moon, and I laugh. Finn leans against the mismatched brick and stares at me quite intently, his eyes unnervingly bright in the growing darkness.
Jesus.
What's funny? You're all masters of being, painfully cryptic, but yet I still feel at home. But I shouldn't trust a single one of you, should I? He turns, checking we're alone again before he leans a little closer, his voice low. That's for you to decide. So tell me, Hunter, what does that tricky little gut of yours tell you about all this? About us? What do you feel?
Ooh. Like we should talk. Is that the Fenry? Oh my god, is that the Riku? The famous cat boy? Wow, I'm honored. Welcome, welcome. We're here romancing the vampire boy. We should talk sexily. How are you? I'm good. How are you? On Hell Eve. Yep. Yeah, I don't know. I'm Joe.
I find myself getting lost in molten gold.
Just got home. Oh, yes. It's kind of late, though. Did you just get home from work? Stinku. Oh, no. Riku's got a secret nickname? What?
Getting lost in molten gold. Watching him watch me. A witty response turns to ash upon my tongue. I'm hyper aware of how close we are. Caught by the memory of his hand in mine at the beach, of our lips hovering so close that I could feel his cool breath against my skin.
I had to drop my car off because she was making some funny noises. Oh no! Oh god, I hate car stuff so much. I feel you. Car stuff? Awful. I feel like most of my people in my friend group have bought a new car this year, and I have another friend buying a new car this year. Awful. I don't get it, because you spend so much money to get them fixed, and it doesn't matter, because one day it'll die anyways, and then you'll just have to spend a bunch of money to get a new one. Awful. I have car trauma. Not really, but like, I feel you. It sucks. Cars are poo-poo. Yeah, because it's so expensive to get one. It's so expensive to maintain one. Gas is pretty expensive. I mean, it's kind of okay near me, but still. And then it's like, you could get scammed like so easily if you don't know shit, which is me. I don't know shit. They get scammed the hell out of me. Usually I call my dad and I'm like, what does this mean? Does this make sense? They want to charge me $600. Is that fine? Does that make sense? And he's like, yep, sure. I don't know either. But yeah, car stuff is the worst. I'm hyper aware of how close we are, caught by the memory of his hand in mine at the beach, of our lips hovering so close that I could feel his cool breath against my skin. He remains silent, and I clear my throat. And so, the festival. He smiles softly, fingers twitching by his side. I was expecting some brilliant insight into your investigation, but I'm more than happy to discuss our date. I huff an incredulous laugh, the noise catching in my throat thanks to his bold statement. A date, was it? He feigns offense, clutching his chest where I know his heart doesn't beat. My smile widens at the ridiculousness of the gesture. I cannot believe you would dismiss our evening together as anything other than a date, especially after you seduced me so beautifully.
His fangs graze his bottom lip, and my toes curl in my boots at the thought of what they're capable of. A stark reminder that he's still a creature, and I'm very much a human that kills such things. Ooh, he's a creature. Wink. I seduced you, did I? If I recall correctly, you were the one who took my hand, who leaned in. His answering laugh is enchanting, his nose crinkling, pearly white fangs glistening. It takes two to tango, as they say. I'm just teasing, though. I do not take offense if you didn't see it as such. I had a good time regardless. I was rather upset our night ended so abruptly, but duty calls, right? This time I really do elbow him, catching him square in the ribs. Ooh, I'm the hunter and you're a creature. We come from two worlds. Swoon. And cue the overdramatic sigh. Hey, not overdramatic. It's cute. I like it. He's polite enough to let out a quiet oof, but I know he's truly unaffected. My elbow, on the other hand, he grins, all lopsided and beautiful. Exactly. I should probably be doing many other things than talking to strange vampires in the snow at this early hour. Yes, like sleeping. And yet here you are. I sigh, joining him in, leaning against the wall, my breath turning to mist against the cold air. Here I stay. I wish I knew what it was about him that draws me in, besides the obvious.
His looks. Titties out.
By all accounts, I should be overly cautious around such a creature, but Finn makes me feel more at ease than I thought possible. And I need that tonight, more than ever. Besides his titties. I know, right? They're so big. Look at them. And that little peak of a tattoo. I need to know what the rest of it looks like. I want to get to know him, to understand why my heart pounds so feverishly whenever he's near. I should head inside. My words sound dull, and I know I don't mean them. I'm looking for a reason to stay right here, anchored to this spot. You sound positively enthused. I shrug, sparing the old door of the tavern a glance. The sheets are scratchy. I'm just psyching myself up. That's fair. After a brief pause, he quickly steals his gaze. He reaches out and runs a cool iron finger along the curve of my cheekbone. The etchings flicker in the darkness. You are quite lovely, you know. I cannot resist the impulse to tip my head in blatant invitation, the way wolves show submission. Not wolves again! Oh, now I'm just thinking about that wolf book. Bearing the column on my throat to a man that could rip it out in the blink of an eye. His cool digit stops over the place where my pulse thrums furiously, and I no longer care that he can hear. He knows what he's doing to me. He smelled strangely like a dying summer, though I suspect his memories of sunshine are long dead. Sweet dreams, fair hunter. I daren't keep you from your rest much longer. My traitorous body shivers under his touch, and I mourn the loss of it when he finally pulls away. He quickly stuffs his hands back into his coat pockets, as if the temptation would be too much if he didn't.
When will we kiss? This is so rude. We're just getting cock-blocked.
I take a deep breath and try to gather my wits. I can't seem to find it in me to mind. He smiles at that, and I sense reluctance as he pushes away from the wall, ready to depart. Alas, you have a town to save. Plus the night is still young for a creature like myself. I sigh, staying closer than is probably necessary, craving contact of any kind as I watch his grin grow wider.
Kiss, kiss, kiss. Yes. Kiss, kiss, kiss.
Right, I really shouldn't head inside though, I suppose. A pleasure as always. And remember, we've got your back. Should we find anything of interest overnight, I'll come running, daylight permitting, of course. Good night, Hunter. I return his smile, pushing the heavy door to the wolf open, praying it doesn't creak and wake the other residents. Good night, Finn. I watch him go before I close the door, only the light of the moon guiding his way as he disappears into the darkness. I finally settle upon the hard mattress, the cheap sheets harsh against my skin as I attempt to get comfortable. Light from the low-hanging moon pours into my room.
What is this music? It's like so holy.
I've scrubbed myself clean of any traces of grime from the hunt, but I can't help but feel irritated from the sheer lack of progress I've made so far. I've come to the conclusion that there are too many secret keepers in this town, and I refuse to feel defeated or let it continue. Overwhelmed by today's events, I find myself falling into a swift and dreamless sleep. Reality settles over me when I wake, a thick smog that almost suffocates me as I reluctantly drag myself from the almost comfort of my bed.
Wait, I'm gonna save real fast. I feel like I haven't saved in a while. Yeah, I'll do this one. And also drink some water. Gimme hydration. Sorry I keep bumping the mic. I'm like, I need to have it close. So that I keep hitting it, obviously.
I haven't had anywhere near enough rest, but I must relent. I gather the energy to dress and head downstairs to face whatever obstacles are hastily inevitably shoved in my way.
I'm drinking hard cider and eating homemade apple donut balls. Fenry keeps hitting us. I'm sorry. I just forgot. I have a whole case of hard cider in the fridge. I totally could have been drinking that. Oh well, too late now. That's gonna live there for a bit because I'm on a health kick.
As my eyes take in a bleary sight of the empty tavern, the hideous sound of scraping of wood against stone assaults my ears. In the corner of the room, Alucard stumbles to his feet, the chair he's been sitting on almost toppling over. He catches it and sets it right, then grimaces briefly before stalking over to me. I think Alucard's the werewolf?
I'm pretty sure.
It's easy to see the hunch of his shoulders and the stiffness of his posture. For a moment, I wonder if he's hurt somehow. But as he comes closer, it seems more likely he's only wary, perhaps? Not unusual, but with the commotion last night, it still puts me ill at ease. I don't need supernatural senses to know that this is going to be another pebble on the mountain of mysteries. He looks a mess. What is he even doing? Rolling around on the forest floor.
Oh, look at that little cloak. Ooh, I love it. We love a little shawl moment.
Hunter, I need to speak with you.
He doesn't sound like the aloof, cocky half-lycan I've come to know. He speaks forcefully, but there's a tremor in his voice that's hard to miss. What's wrong?
Puppy man. Ooh, oh, we heard his hand.
A frown deepens.
Instead, also, it's so funny that he's got the VTuber thing where he's got 2 ears. Love it.
Instead of explaining himself, Alucard holds his hand and uncurls his finger, revealing a crumpled ball of fabric. For a moment, I stare at him, at the thing he's holding without comprehension. Alucard stares back, his expression telling me he thinks I'm an idiot for not getting it. Then I realize the distinctive purple under the dirt and the dried crusted blood.
Sorry, I got hiccups.
And my stomach drops. A hunter's sash. Alucard is holding a hunter's sash in his hand. Or what's left of it. The thing is in a sorry state.
Wait. Cat screaming again. Oh my god. Yes, come in and out whenever you want. Yep. Come here. Okay, I'm just gonna leave the door cracked. He can figure it out. He said, let me scream. You open the door? I don't actually want to go and I just want to stare at it.
Carefully, I reach out and take it from him for closer inspection.
Oh, now you come in. Fucking hell. Just go lay down. Werewolf Man! Kitty Rock concert. Oh, God.
He looks down.
It doesn't belong to the hunter that was killed last night. It doesn't belong to any of them. It's not right. The smell.
I stare at him in disbelief, shaking my head as I feel the gritty fabric between my fingers. Then, who does it belong to? Alucard shrugs half-heartedly. In the tavern's uncertain light, his face is drawn and his eyes are sunken. Exhausted, I realize. But his tail still flicks back and forth, back and forth. in impatience or agitation. It's hard to tell with him. All I know is that Alcar is telling the truth, if for no other reason than because he's too worn out for deception. Are you serious, cat? Too bad, he's gonna stick it out in here.
I tried, but I couldn't tell. I searched all night with Finn's clan, but we came up short.
He looks over his shoulder, checking to ensure we don't have company.
I have to be careful. I can't be seen with such things. They'll...
A sharp exhale, and he admits defeat, shoulders drooping, ears flat on against his head. There's as much bitter resentment in his voice as there is sulk.
They'll make me pay for my generosity with my own blood. Again.
The certainty with which he says it makes my stomach drop almost as much as his grim resignation. I won't let them hurt you. I'm not going to let them hurt you, Alcar. I hold up the piece of scrap fabric, handling it like it's gold. It might as well be. I have no idea what it might mean for the investigation yet, but it's still very clearly something. And I'm well aware of the trust, or perhaps desperation that it took the seeming pariah to come and entrust it to me in person. I hear him scoff.
Yeah, I'll pray. For you.
I roll my eyes at him. Aren't we talking about you and your issues here?
I don't have an issue. Well, I'm unlikely to have one if you keep mum about where you found that fabric scrap. Which I'm sure you will. Yes.
Asking me to lie to my superiors already? What are we? But I speak in jest, and I make sure my tone communicates as such. I already know discretion must, and will be employed once I decide to report this finding to August, or Lieutenant General. I don't want to hurt him. I don't want him hurt. Oh my god. Guys, I'm not even that far into stream, and I already can't read. That's usually like near the end. Damn. I don't want them to hurt him. Alcar smirks at me, resting his hands on his hips. Some of that cockiness finding its way back to him. A welcoming sight, and one I'm glad to see.
Sure, I'll gamble on it.
There are worse odds to bet on. He leans closer suddenly, lowering his voice despite the empty tavern. Apparently you didn't listen to Selena Gomez. Yeah, I know, right? I did not. Selena, I can't read, I'm sorry. He leans closer, lowering his voice right there.
I don't know how much or how little you've decided to trust the pomps in that workplace of yours. And I said all that shit about not trusting anyone. But just listen to me this once. Take that to Ezra, not your superior.
He regards me with beseeching intensity, eyes flickering across my face like he's looking for some sort of give, something he can trust. I don't know if I can give it to him. Alcar's concern for his own well-being, I understand. This is different. Yet I have no desire to bother Harry this morning, not after last night, and not over an inconclusive scrap of something that smells strange. August is another mystery altogether. Ezra does have a wonderful little shop full of witchy magic. In a town this small, I can only surmise he would be the one with the most tools at his disposal to suss out an analysis for something like this. It does make sense to go to him, which is all well and good because Alcar is beginning to look downright fidgety. Alright, I'll go to Ezra with this. Alcar stares at me for a second longer, like he doesn't know if I was being honest. Eventually, however, his shoulders relax and he takes a step back.
Then my job's done. Hope you don't mind me quitting this place. Tavern's no fun when there's nobody here to annoy.
He drops into a mocking half-assed bow, his tail swishing, and then all but squeezes himself out the door right past me before I can so much as frown. I stare where Alcar has already vanished, and I wonder for a moment if I should chase him down. There's no hunter, and I have a feeling not entirely natural that the thing out there isn't interested in lichens, witches, demons, or vampires. It's nothing to do with the killing pattern. It's sighing. I tuck my coat a little tighter around myself and reluctantly make to follow his path. Breakfast will have to wait. When have we last eaten? Never. I feel like it's never. The shop is empty when I arrive. The comforting tinkle of the bell that sits above the door welcoming me. Ezra is nowhere to be seen, but I do spot a small white cat curled up at the foot of the shop counter. A curious creature, one that gives off the same soothing magical aura as her assumed owner. The purple curtain that separates the shop and living quarters twitches, and Ezra emerges clutching a cup of steaming tea.
Oh, they're wearing something different. I think. I mean, I don't know that I've seen this outfit on them.
I'm so relieved to see that you're okay.
There's an ad starting in 3 minutes. I'll probably take a BRB during that time because I hydrated too much and now have to bathroom.
The cat's ears twitch at the sound of his voice as she stretches, sauntering over to him and parading herself in between his legs. He ignores her, moving to place his tea upon the counter. I heard that you had to depart the festival quite abruptly. We were all worried. I nod politely, offering him a clipped smile. I did, unfortunately. I hope you've had enough rest. You look exhausted. Not that I'm surprised after what I assumed was an incredibly late evening.
Sir? Shush.
Would you like some tea? The sash feels heavy in my coat, and as much as I enjoy exchanging pleasantries with the witch, I'm here for a reason. I actually need your help with something quite urgent. You do? What is it? Both the cat and Ezra watch me intently as I retrieve the sash, the violet, bloodied fabric unfurling as I hold it up. The cat hisses, her hackles raised as she darts back into the room. That paired with the look on Ezra's face unnerves me.
How could you shush such an icon? Because he's screaming? I don't know, he's whining at me.
And I sigh heavily, exasperated as he rushes past me to lock the front door. Deadbolt and all. He faces the door, his palms splayed flat upon the window pane. It glows a pleasant shade of blue as he whispers what I assume to be a ward incantation before he turns to join me. Though we're quite clearly alone, his voice is tactfully quiet. Where exactly did you get that?
I have an ad starting in 1 minute and 5 seconds. I'm sorry. But also I'll take a BRB break for like a couple minutes. So, no worries. I hope you have very exciting ads. Apparently everyone gets Reese's ads all the time, which I'm not bad about.
The words rush out of him as his aura is panicked. So much so that I begin to feel a terrible sense of unease washing over me. Ezra is the one person I truly had no hesitation about trusting from the start. Someone I thought I could rely on. But I find myself questioning his intentions.
I don't get ads. That's true, Nova. Sorry, you don't get to see Reese's ads. You just get to see the BRB screen, which is so exciting. I don't even know if it has music. Maybe.
Could he possibly already know who this belongs to? And if so, how? Alcar found it in the woods last night. He told me to bring it to you, and only you. He runs his hand through his curls, and I notice that it's shaking.
Okay, I'm gonna BRB, because, yeah, I got a bathroom. And I'll let the cat out. So, I'll be back in probably like, I don't know, like 3 minutes. Something around that. Be right back. What? Elva, what? What? The fuck does that mean? Also, there's no way you can hear that. It's like 3 rooms away. So, yeah.
He runs a hand through his curls, and I notice that it's shaking. Ezra, are you okay? A heavy exhale.
You've never heard that before? I have never heard that before. I don't know. It sounds weird as hell.
And he closes his eyes, shaking his head before he meets my gaze. I don't think you'd understand. This puts us all in danger. Danger? I don't understand. It's just a sash. I simply hope you could identify who it belonged to. You're aware of who its owner is. I assume based on your reaction. I play dumb, disguising my interest in the fact that I know it's not the new victims. If he's hiding something, I'll find out. He moves around to the other side of the counter, nervously rearranging a pile of glowing crystals.
Oh my god. Even hiccups.
Glowing crystals and pushing aside a dish filled with colorful gems. He spares me a glance as he takes a seat, and then he forces a smile. I have an inkling, yes. May I? He holds out his hand, which I observe is now perfectly steady. I'm hesitant to part with the scrap after that little display of uncertainty, but he seems to have collected his thoughts. Are you sure? He nods, wiggling his fingers impatiently. As sure as I'll ever be. Now let us get this over with.
Ooh. I love these CGs, they're so pretty. Look at him, he's so cute.
As soon as the sash meets his palm, a bright emerald light emanates from his fingertips. The fabric hovers mid-air, suspended by vibrant whirls of magic. The movement of Ezra's hand is fluid like water as he commands his spell. I watch in awe as a mark forms before him. Indecipherable shapes shifting and changing.
The character art is so damn cute. It is! Welcome, David! Thanks for dropping by. This game is so cute in general. I'm here to date the vampire, and we were all gonna kiss, and then somebody got murdered. So then we got cockblocked by a murder. God, can't you get murdered quieter? So yeah, this is a magician that we're helping us solve some murders. But I know, I love this art. It's so pretty. Everyone's so pretty in this game. Can't we just all date? Can just be what are that's called? Harem with me in the middle. Finn, my man, when can we kiss him? I don't know. I tried.
The movement of blah 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 blah. I watch it on. Oh, there's blah 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 blah. His eyes are alight, brighter than ever as the blood that coats the sash seems to pull away from the fabric, suspended alongside his magic. It's beautiful, a truly impressive display, but I'm sure I don't take my eyes off him for even a second. His lips part, his brows deeply furrowed as he concentrates. He doesn't look pleased, and I'm not entirely sure exactly what he's doing. But whatever it is, I just hope that it helps. This is the first solid piece of evidence I've managed to get my hands on, and I refuse to rest until I get a name. A sharp inhale, and Ezra closes his eyes tight, the magic dissipating, and the sash falls and settles upon the wood. He drops his head, his knuckles tight as he grips the edge of the counter. I had a feeling. Ezra, work with me here. I need you to be honest. He looks scared, maybe even a little upset. This is way bigger than me, but I can't in good consciousness keep this from you. I'm not sure if he's talking directly to me or if he's reassuring himself. I suspect it's the latter. I try to remain calm, and I am truly unsurprised that yet another person in this town has managed to refrain from divulging potentially valuable information. The sash belonged to a girl named Aya Walker.
Wow, I went really squeaky there.
He pushes away from the counter, putting distance between himself and the sash, eyeing it warily. And who exactly is Aya Walker? I really shouldn't say anymore. I would hate for any harm to come to you because of me. Harm? Who would harm me over something as insignificant as a name? I'm growing increasingly more frustrated as the minutes pass by, and Ezra can tell. I know he's not stupid. If anything, he's too smart. I suppose he's just looking out for himself. But whatever knowledge he's retaining is clearly valuable, and I must know. I think back to what Omen said only a few nights ago. About Finn visiting less. About Ezra being tired all the time. Is this connected somehow? Oh my god. Cat, get out. No, no. Get out of here. There we go. I swear to God. Sit there. Stay. Stay. Is it connected? Geek. Sorry. Oh, I lost my phone. It's fine. This is going so well, obviously. Almost said a few nights ago about Finn visiting last, about Ezra being tired all the time. Is it connected? You're safe. I take a cautious step forward, aware that with him being this emotional, that I could very well startle him. I spread my hands, showing my palms in a gesture of peace as I approach. I feel like I need to put a warning on my streams. Warning, Cat will for sure interrupt 90% of the time. Ezra, I'll make sure you don't get punished. It's not that simple. I can see he's growing increasingly more frustrated, likely with himself. I've always had the impression that Ezra is a truly honest man, so that whatever he's hiding, he must be doing so with good reason. I hope. She was a hunter, a general, a good one too, another of Lunaris' finest. She'd only recently transferred here from a few towns over when she was arrested. I try not to look too confused, but I can't help the way my eyes widen when he says that. Arrested? He nods. Hunters, especially of the general's rank, are very rarely thrown in the dungeons for minor transgressions. We are too valuable. So, what did she do? I don't know why. Nobody outside of the Enforcers does. I don't know what to do with this information. A young general being thrown into the dungeons is alarming, especially when there's no apparent reason. Treason, murder, unlawful torture. These are all things that I know hunters have been imprisoned for, but never without the public having full knowledge. Such events are not usually quiet ones. We have families and friends. We save lives. There must be something, somewhere, that tells me why she was stripped of her title and thrown in a cell. I just don't know what she has to do with, like, any of this shit. Guys, I'm bad. I'm a bad detective. I'm not unraveling the mystery very well. I take the sash from the counter and tuck it back inside my coat, and Ezra keeps a close eye on the movement, as if it may jump out and bite him. Who was her enforcer? Ezra throws me that look again. The one where he looks sad and reluctant. Gus. Of course. Because I don't have enough on my plate already. I have no idea who Gus is. Maybe he's a character we met for like 10 seconds and I immediately forgot. He quickly scrambles to add to his statement, clearly not wanting me to think ill of August. Oh, it was August. Never mind. Only in the interim, while her transfer was processed, she and Piper hit it off quite quickly. But she was gone before she had a chance to thrive. I take a step towards the door, and Ezra nervously follows. Where are you going? He looks like he wants to reach out and stop me, but he thinks better of it. I'm going to clear my head before... I don't know. I reach to turn the locks, then for the handle, watching his words shimmer and fade as he reluctantly waves his hand. Something begs at me to pause. Tell me, why are you so afraid? I'm scared to learn the truth. I've only ever wanted to find somewhere to settle, somewhere quiet and away from the things that gave me nightmares. I found that here. I found love, a family, and yet... Nothing lasts forever? He shakes his head. Everything crumbles eventually. That's why I'm afraid. I just want a normal life. We stare at each other down for a lingering moment, and I truly feel sorry for him, for everyone in this town. I assume that associating yourself with creatures doesn't grant you much peace. It does not. I drop my head, my mind swimming. People are dying and being thrown in dungeons. I've got your back, Ezra, just as long as you have mine. Thank you. Just stay safe. We need you.
Give me a sec. I'm just repositioning. Yeah. Okay.
Chill air hits me as soon as I open the door of Ezra's shop and step outside. It hisses in my ears, piercing through my layers like it wants to chase me back indoors. I can think of no alternative more enticing, but my work is done here, and I need to move on. Not a moment less well-timed, it seems, as I close the door and immediately notice a familiar face skulking about just outside of my vision until now. Omen startles when he realizes that I've spotted him. He takes a full step away from me, one hand half raised, his tail lashing like a snake. For reasons I can't even begin to fathom, there's genuine fear on his face.
I drink some water.
Omen.
Omen's so... I don't know.
I take a moment to look him over. Omen seems, by all accounts, unhurt. At least he isn't hurt enough that it interferes with his glamour despite his obvious distress. Under my scrutiny, Omen takes a half step back, hugging himself, and I hasten to put him at ease. He isn't an enemy, least of all one I'm willing to make. It's alright. I was just surprised to see you is all. Oh. Omen looks away for a moment, embarrassed. Then he offers me a half smile, visibly relaxing. I've been hiding. Things seem to be tense right now.
Thought I heard something weird.
I can't help but sigh at that. That's one way to put it. I gesture vaguely at him. But what about you? You seem to be in a hurry. Is something wrong? Omen's eyes widen. He opens his mouth, doesn't say anything for a moment, then shuts it. I'm looking for someone. Omen says this very quietly, like he's confessing a secret. He scans my face with eyes flickering red rather than their usual warm brown. I wait since there's little else I can say. Then something seems to resolve. Omen looks from me to Ezra's door, then takes a step back, his mouth tight. She's probably not in there. I should get going. It's nice to see you again. He makes to turn away, and I don't know what moves me to act. Perhaps it's his aura, the way I suddenly sense it swell under his glamour and spot the wisps of flame trailing from his hair to the tips of his ears. Perhaps he's walking away, and I simply can't let him go right now. Perhaps I'm tired of one more fucking mystery in this town. Either way, I reach out and grab his wrist. Wait. And instantly regret it.
Ooh. I love me some demon eyes. Even though I still hate his head design a lot. All of it. Sorry, sir. You're a demon. I hate your hair. I hate your little circlet thing. I hate your teeth. Your eyes are cool, though.
Heat scorches my hand, forcing me to withdraw with a small cry. Omen looks over his shoulder at me with glowing amber eyes, his lips drawn back in a half snarl. His still eerily human face is framed by a wreath of fire. My guts clench. Twists drop under what? I don't understand. The sudden glimpse of an immense, blistering presence that sprung out of nowhere. My instincts scream at me in warning. Demon. Then Omen jerks back, as though out of a trance, and everything extinguishes. I don't know how long we stand outside Ezra's shop, with the space of a sword swing between us. Omen's arms are limp by his sides, making no move to defend himself.
He sort of gives Orc Femboy more than Demon. Yeah, he, very does not give Demon. I guess the only thing Gabe's demon is like the tail. It's a hard read. He's got a lot going on. I'm just not here for it, really. So we will never romance him, ever. Never, ever. Unless I'm being a completionist. All he does is stare at me. With those huge eyes and palpable horror. I'm sorry. I force my mouth open to tell him it's alright. I've had worse, really. But I can only pry my jaws apart. The words I can't force through. He's not waiting to hear them. He's stepping away. 1, then 2, then 3, and he turns around and flees. I can't move my legs to follow. By the time I get enough control of myself back, Omen's already long gone. Let me drink some more water. I feel like my voice is cracking. In hindsight, I'm glad I couldn't follow him. It takes a tremendous effort for me to pry my stiff fingers from the comfort of my weapon. I'd been sitting in my room at the Wolf, waiting for the sun to set, waiting for darkness to fall so I can carry out my next move, visiting our boyfriend in the underground, obviously. No messenger had come to summon me to headquarters, and neither had August come to bang down on my door. I gather that the identification of the deceased hunter is taking a little longer than I expected. Or, many dark things crossed my mind, but I pushed them away. I meant it when I said that I'm tired of being pushed from pillar to post, kept in the dark. Enough is enough. If this town wants saving, then I'll do it on my terms. The door to August's office is thankfully unlocked, and I'm pleased to discover that it's empty. The desk is in its usual disarray, papers and books haphazardly strewn across its surface. I take a deep breath and head straight for the filing cabinet I've seen August rummaging through so often, and I carefully open the drawers. Apparently Piper has her own, a whole portion dedicated to her reports, an impressive feat. After much rummaging, I eventually find Aya's papers stuffed at the very back of the bottom drawer. If I didn't know what I was looking for, they'd have easily gone unnoticed. It certainly looks like August has tried to hide them, which only increases my suspicion. I find her transfer papers, a glowing letter of recommendation from her previous enforcer. Her records are clean with no discrepancies, nothing but praise. I see the words kind and thoughtful repeated multiple times, and the only complaint, if you can call it that her enforcer had is that she was overly cautious. Then I find it. Her discharge papers. An obnoxious red treason stamped across the front page. Whoa. In the blink of an eye, the whole office lights up, and the door loudly slams against the wall. It's obviously August being mad at us. Yeah, look at him, he's so pissed. Or, they're so pissed. Sorry, I keep fucking up your pronouns, wah! If I call you sexy more, does it make up for it?
What are you doing?
I watch your magic coat every surface, flowing and curling over the walls, floor, furniture, it even creeps over the ceiling, or clothing, their skin too. They stare at me with wide-eyed, vivid violets swallowing the once ice blue of their irises. And though I should be concerned that I've been caught, I'm distracted. August. The magic that glimmers upon their clothing disappears and their eyes lose that otherworldly glow, but the room remains alight. They look at the bundle of papers that I hold tightly in my hand, furrowing their brow. I thought it said a frown, frowning their brow.
I would ask you that you put those back, Hunter Helsing.
Their words are eerily calm, and they seem more concerned than annoyed. What happened to her? They close the door, clicking the lock and checking the handle before they walk towards me. As poised and perfect as ever, they stare me down.
You know, not even Piper found those. I hate to admit that I'm impressed.
August. They unfurl their fingers in a silencing gesture, and I pause. August is still my superior officer,
and I'm nothing if not respectful.
I did not wish for Piper to be demoted, nor do I wish for you to meet the same fate, but I appear to be having a case of deja vu. But you know, sometimes the hand that feeds is a forceful one.
I'm perplexed. I expected a much harsher conversation. August isn't exactly known for their calm temperament, and this is startlingly out of character. Aren't you going to admonish me? With a sly smile, they shake their head.
No, Fenry, I am not. I believe in you, strangely. I believe that you're a bright light at the end of a very, very dark tunnel for this town. And I've been questioning things lately.
Ugh. I already said we'd romance the vampire, but it's very hard to not want to romance. Like, choose the romance option. I just want the truth. I'm the truth seeker. Their uncertainty is startling. They've always seemed so sure, so confident. It's like a different person stands before me. Are they afraid too? I just want to know what happened. Their mouth twists and they sigh deeply.
I don't know what happened. I am but a pawn.
August, please. I let my frustrations show. The paper is crumbling in my grip. She's rotting in a dungeon and no one knows why. Not even the one who signed her papers. A fierce, bright glow surrounds us, magic crackling at their fingertips.
I did not sign them.
They take a deep breath.
I couldn't do such a thing. This goes higher than me, far higher.
People are scared to even utter her name. They shake their head, and I notice I can't get a read on their aura.
I'm no liar when I say I don't know.
Something in my gut tells me this really is all connected, and this doesn't exactly comfort me. The very institution that I work for, that I've dedicated my life to. I move to pull out the sash.
Nope, hiccups. Sorry.
And let it unfurl, holding it before them, and August's eyes grow wide.
Who does this belong to?
Aya Walker. Their expression is unchanging.
I see. It's bloodied.
I nod, handing it to them. They carefully lay it across their palm, studying it intently. Heavily and torn to shreds. Whatever happened, she put up a fight. They frowned, their lips pursed. Something is clearly perplexing them.
She was not reported to be injured upon her arrest. That much I do know. Something like that wouldn't be omitted.
I throw them a sorry stare. Sorry stare. That is a tongue twister. Wondering how they could still be so sure of such things.
You're positive the blood is hers?
I want to tell them how I know, but I can't implicate Ezra, nor Alcar. Not after they were both so clearly terrified. I'm sure, and I'm going to need you to trust me on that. Strangely, they don't question it. Instead, they sigh, placing the sash upon their desk. She was yours, August. Don't you want to know what happened to her? I want to see her, to visit the dungeon. They glance out of the window, and another heavy snowfall coats the icy street outside.
I think you need to take a seat. I have a few confessions.
Ooh, we gonna learn some secrets? Finally. It's like a not knowing shit.
I can hear the rush of my blood pounding in my skull as I take a seat. My heart trying to escape the restrictive cage of my ribs as I stared my enforcer down. August's fingers are visibly trembling. All color is drained from their skin, and I'm fearful that they may faint. They draw in a shuddering breath and reach for one of the drawers in their desk, pulling out a vial that glows a vivid lavender. I recognize it from the very first time I met them back in Ezra's shop, which strangely feels like forever ago. The way they demanded it from him was with a desperation that I've not seen in them since, but it stuck with me regardless. At first, I think they might pop the cork and swallow it whole, their eyes hungry as they shake it, watching the viscous liquid swirl and brighten. They don't, though. Instead, they place it in the middle of the desk. They proceed to sit on their hands, and I gather it's a precautionary measure to prevent themselves from indulging. I feel like it's drugs. Like, it's giving me this is some sort of narcotic. What is this? They clear their throat, unable to meet my concerned gaze.
This is what I've been reduced to.
Ezra gave this to you? They nod and I reach for the vial. They watch intently, their throat bobbing as they swallow thickly. I have an ad coming up in 2 minutes. I'm sorry for all my ad people. The room flares to life as I pop the cork, and August shifts in their seat. It smells fragrant, almost citrusy. It's certainly not as unpleasant as I anticipated.
It is not harmful if it is used as intended. Ezra could never create such things. He is not interested in enabling me, but I may have pressured him. I may have taken advantage of it, hence the nature in which my magic has been manifesting lately. Just another thing to add to the long list of regrets I seem to have accrued lately.
I look around the room, now understanding how such a display is possible. What does it do exactly? I can feel a crackle in the air, an obvious shift in tension.
My magic draws from the mind, and when using it often, I tend to grow weary faster than most. It's a weakness I'm not proud of, and I cannot be viewed to be weak when I'm in such a position in this agency.
They gesture towards the vial, and I lay it back upon the desk.
Therefore, this affords me the ability to replenish my mana, to put myself to use whenever required. Psionic abilities such as my own are rare, so I'm required quite often.
There are quite obviously side effects, though. Your health is more important than your notoriety, August. They seem taken aback by that statement, maybe even a little embarrassed. Guys, they're so hot. Like, I don't know. They're just my character type, hardcore.
Yes, and I see that now. I've been a little blinded by the desire to impress. But the harder I look, the more I realize that I might be pushing myself to the limit for a broken cause.
I blanch at that. Those words coming from August's mouth seem unreal. I am both huffing and puffing for real.
I know, right? I don't know if it's the hair or the face. Just all of it. All of it.
It's a casually honest statement. Painfully honest, even. It's certainly not something that I could imagine the enforcer I just met a week ago daring to utter.
Too many questionable things have happened right under my nose, and I was too blinded by my determination to succeed to see.
Aya. Oh, Aya. I thought it was like Aya.
Aya, Piper, the murders. We need to go back to the start, examine the root.
The root being the agency, the enforcers. With a small nod, they lift their eyes to the ceiling, speaking their next words with great effort.
Yes, the enforcers.
Ad. I want to drink some water. Doop, doop, doop. Hello, my subby bottoms. How are you? Have a good time? Chilling? Good day? Not stressed at all? Definitely. Also, sorry everyone's Digimon got reset. I think when I switched it back from Halloween, everyone, like, it just gave everyone, like, random ones. But you can get new ones, if you use coins. Who says we're subby bottoms? It's because you're subs. Get it? Subs. Hee. And I say because I'm very punny, obviously. Teehee. Do. Wait, that's clever. Is it clever? I feel like it's a little basic. I never said I'm not a basic bitch. Okay. Stretch. Yes, the enforcers. It's a real knee slapper. Yeah! I just think of like that SpongeBob thing with those, I think it's the SpongeBob movie with the two hillbillies and they like literally slap their knees and like shove each other and stuff. Then why bring me here?
That I cannot answer. I wish I could.
God, my voice sounds so much better when I'm hydrated. Like I feel like I can get all the enunciation out. I'm gonna ask about Aya, because I'm curious. Tell me about Aya. They rest their elbows upon the desk, steepling their fingers.
There's not much to tell, really. She transferred here only a few months ago. We'd barely become acquainted when she was arrested, though. Piper took a liking to her.
A small smile crosses their lips.
They worked well together, and I finally got to catch up on the ridiculous amount of paperwork I'd accrued during my time spent in the field with Piper.
Why were you in the field?
Well, things have been a little busier than usual here in Lunaris lately. Creature activity has been at an all-time high these past few years, and Piper and I made an unstoppable team.
I contemplate that for a moment. For any peak in activity is usually for a reason. But sometimes these sentences don't make sense, but that's okay. It's been worse the past few years. Not always this bad. They shake their head.
Not always, but it almost seems normal now.
I make a mental note to remember this, to pry later. So her arrest. One day she was just gone? No explanation.
It was reported that she went on an unsanctioned hunt. I wasn't aware, and neither was Piper. We never saw her again.
I feel like she's dead. Or like a vampire or something. I reach for the papers that sit upon the desk between us. Harry's signature is clear as day. You didn't question it. An uncomfortable shift. A squirm almost.
I did not. You don't question Harry. He's given me no reason to.
I think Harry's sketchy. He may be sexy, but he's sketchy. Like, I don't know if he'd kill his own husband, but something. He doing something sketchy. I watch them carefully, the furrow in their brow deepening as they quite clearly second-guess their own statement. Something isn't right here, and Aya's situation feels too convenient for me. Don't you agree? With a sharp inhale, they sit back in their chair. A little of their tension seems to melt away, but the sadness still lingers.
I do.
Ask about Piper. Okay, well, I guess it didn't matter who I asked about. You mentioned that you didn't want Piper to be demoted. So what happened? Their gaze flickers to the side, staring out the window at the snowy street.
After Aya's arrest, Piper became unsettled. Rightfully so. Now I look back. She wouldn't stop rambling about a theory she had about the agency. Corruption, slander, all nonsense to me at the time. She was caught trying to break into the dungeons and rifling through my files, just like you were this evening.
I clear my throat, offering them an apologetic grin.
I was too infuriated to truly think straight, and before I got the chance to defuse the situation, Harry caught wind.
No, don't send me to the dungeons.
I regret the way I dealt with it. Piper was a good friend before this mess began. I should have helped her. I let her down.
Their gaze meets mine, and they somehow seem more concerned for me than they are for themselves. You and Piper, you were friends.
Hard to believe now, I know. But yes, we were. Close enough for her to convince me to arm wrestle her.
They absent-mindedly rub their elbows as if they're nursing an old injury.
Don't do that. Ever.
I like that she's apparently jacked. That's amazing. The way they light up when they talk about such memories doesn't go unnoticed, and I feel a pang of sorrow for their lost friendship. They both seem like they could do with such company in their lives, and now I understand why they're noted as being so prolific as a team. You should speak to her and clear the air.
The look they throw me is less than convincing.
Piper is a proud person. She's been wronged by someone she trusted, and she does not trust freely. I wouldn't expect her to forgive me without much begging, but I shall try.
I feel like I'm here to play therapist to all of these people. I'm like, your husband's dead, you need friends, you got trauma, just lay it on me.
I truly valued our friendship, and I've been cruel to her in my mission to please Harry. That ends now.
August pushes away from their desk, swiping the still glowing vial as they stand. They cradle it gently in their palm before it's shoved firmly into the drawer.
The draw from where it came.
What's next? What can we do?
I think you should speak to Piper. She might know more than me, especially after her snooping.
I stand too. I touch lingering upon those discharge papers. I want to go into the dungeons. I want to see her. They avert their gaze, cheeks rosy, their frustration evident.
I cannot authorize that. Not when I know it would put your position in jeopardy.
I feel like I'm flubbing every other word I say. Like, seriously. Oh my god, I choked on the water. That was spell. It's like the opposite of what I wanted. Oh my god. They thoughtlessly slide their... Oh my fucking... It's fine.
They thoughtlessly slide their hand across the back of their chair, cutting at me a sympathetic stare.
Rip Fenrir. It's fine.
I can't have a repeat of what happened with Piper, Fenrir.
I'm done playing it safe. I wring my hands, feeling restless. I'm ready to spring into action as an idea plants itself firmly in my skull. I have a plan.
Oh, really? Well, do tell.
I laugh, quiet and sharp. I'm not sure it's a good idea that I tell you. They run their hands over the front of their shirt, standing a little taller.
I may have been honest with you this evening, but I'm still your enforcer. You do well not to keep such things from me, especially if there could possibly be consequences for me too.
They're right. This has the potential to harm us both if it doesn't work. Fine, but you're not going to like it. You may not approve, but we have a few allies that probably know the dungeons better than any hunter enforcer ever could.
Is it... I don't know. I don't even know who it is.
The dramatic and sudden roll of their eyes tells me they know exactly who I'm talking about.
You want to... Oh, it is the vampires. That's what I thought.
My boyfriend.
You want to enlist a bunch of vampires to help us break into the enforcement dungeons.
Not a bunch, just the one. Finn has lived in this town longer than literally anyone.
August scoffs loudly.
Lived? He's as dead as a doornail. So you're just going to walk into the dungeons, Casimir in tow, and hope not to get caught?
I smile at their obvious distaste for my plan. Ezra, Piper, even Alcar. They can all help too. Do I have your permission to proceed? A pregnant pause follows my question, but eventually August meets my gaze once more.
You have my permission, but please be cautious. I'm no wiser than you here, and I cannot protect you if something goes wrong. I came here to make something of myself. I was so desperate to move out of the shadows of my parents. I came from a family that held me to such high standards. Standards I could never dream of meeting, no matter how hard I tried.
Their words grow terser as the seconds pass, unraveling gradually.
I don't want this town to be my legacy. I want to make the world a better place, not a scarier one.
I gather that August has suffered through much frustration, and life has weathered them to the bone. They quickly gather themselves.
I won't let
you down.
I don't doubt that, actually.
I head back to my room at the Wolf to clear my head and to try to figure out my hastily concocted plan a little more thoughtfully. Hastily concocted, little flutterfly. I stay up pondering the fact that we still haven't been given the name of the latest victim. I wonder if Harry is keeping it from me for some reason. After my conversation with August, everything feels wrong. A quick, sharp pain rises in my temples. I feel that familiar presence lurking. That was beautiful. What was beautiful? I feel like I missed your message. Nova, what was beautiful? Oh. Despite that, it would appear that no voices will visit me tonight. Because apparently nothing is sacred in this town, I managed to coax Piper's address out of Edna with very little persuasion. I head across the street, unsurprised that she lives so close to the tavern, and as far away from headquarters as possible. Her house is small, but it appears to have character, much like its owner. I take a deep breath, and I knock. Hey, she's in like normie clothes. She looks surprised to see me, but her expression quickly softens. Henry, I wasn't expecting you, especially because I assumed you had no bloody idea where I live. Are you okay? A timid smile crosses my lips. I definitely don't think this is a conversation to be had in the street. Yeah, talk about secrets. Can we talk? Oh, sorry, of course. Come in. Ooh, I like her house. It's fancy. Bougie house. Her house is warming and inviting. It's giving me like boho vibes. The wall is adorned with the abundance of gorgeous weaponry. And various plants and brightly colored pillows litter the room. Dude, this sword is so goofy looking though, this one on the table. Like it looks like a piece of paper. I'm sorry to shame the art, but everything else looks so 3D. And then that sword is just like, wham. Your home is beautiful. Thank you. I've been lucky, really. I know not all hunters catch a break like I have. Plus, real estate in this shithole is cheap. Maybe it is a toy. Maybe it's just a piece of paper. We share a laugh, but I can't help but feel a sense of urgency to discuss things with her. I decide now is not the time for pleasantries or stalling. We're gonna get right to it. What do you know about this lady? Cutting straight to the chase is the only way. I have some news about Aya. Her eyes widen, flicking to the side, away from me. Aya, please don't say what I think you're going to. I pull the sash from inside my coat and present it to her, but I'm quick to reassure. This was found in the woods, but that doesn't mean... She could still be alive, Piper. This has clearly been out there for a while. She reaches out and runs her hand over the ruined fabric, her fingers shaking. With a deep inhale, she withdraws, turning to sit upon the arm of her sofa. Why are you here? She looks so sad, like she's only thinking the worst. I don't blame her, and I can't imagine how frustrated she must feel with the hand she's been dealt. I wanted you to know that I spoke with August last night. They were quite honest with me about everything, really. Oh, they were, I suppose they told you why I was demoted. I acted without rational thought. I was so angry. Oh, I got a codex entry. I offer her a smile, trying to catch her gaze. I may or may not have been caught doing exactly as you did. You didn't. Guys, I'm probably gonna end stream kind of like in like 10 minutes maybe, like a little bit early today. I'm just stressed from today's existence in general and need to like chill out for a bit. But I do have like streams like all week, so it's fine. Okay. Yeah, ya boy be very stressed because, you know, I don't talk politics that much. But this one very much, like, I know they all directly affect me, like, everyone, but like, I don't know. It's scary.
We don't want to have to emigrate to Canada. Or immigrate, not emigrate. You know. I know I'm feeling a little smug now. The fear of being reprimanded by my enforcer has dissipated. I broke into August Willenheim's office and lived to tell the tale. Thank you for understanding. I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like I wasn't that stressed about it in general because I don't focus too much on politics. But then I like couldn't sleep last night, which I feel like is weird for me. Like I woke up like 50 times. I don't know. Anyways, back to the gays.
Fucking brilliant. You've got guts, I'll give you that.
I shrug, brushing it off. I'm grateful that the mood had shifted to something that feels a little lighter. You know, August regrets how everything happened. They seemed wistful. I think they miss your friendship. She frowns deeply, fiddling with the edge of her tunic. They hurt me. I think it'll take a while to get over that. It wasn't even about the punishment. It was that they didn't believe me. You work with someone for all that time, and when it comes down to it, they thought I'd gone mad. Why would I make up such a thing? Everyone jokes about us and our instincts, but they don't understand. When we feel something, we really feel it, you know? I nod because I do know. Whatever lies within us, what grants us our abilities, is something we cannot shake or ignore. I don't really understand their abilities, honestly. Like, I guess they're super strong or something, but is it just because of their job? Like, you get bestowed abilities when you get this job? Or do you have the job because you have the abilities? If we sense someone's in... Oh, this is me. If we sense someone's in pain or they're scared, we feel it in kind. If we love fully. If we can feel that something feels off, it usually is. They employ us to do what we do for a reason. I wish they'd have a better understanding of what or how we feel. She softs a quiet laugh, rolling her eyes and offering me a small smile. If only. If August wishes to make amends, I welcome their apology, but it will take me a while to trust them again. I was humiliated and betrayed by one of my only friends. They've got some begging to do. Now that I'd like to see. Did me too. I'll get you a front row seat if it ever happens, alright? Deal. Now, I have a proposition. Oh? Go into the dungeons. I want to go into the dungeons. She stares at me blank, expressionless. You fucking what? Are you absolutely mad? Fancying a demotion too, are you? Well, let me tell you, it is not all it's cracked up to be. I throw her a look and she smirks. You're serious then? Well, Fenry, I'm impressed. So come on then, what's this plan? I'm still putting the pieces together. You inspired me though. Good to know some good comes out of my suffering, I suppose. Do you have any tips? Any kinks you encountered on your journey? Ooh, any kinks? The fact that I didn't even get to the door would indicate that I failed pretty miserably, wouldn't you say? There are wards, there are guards. It's pretty impossible unless... Unless? I know, right? That's what I was like, any kinks? Well, you know Ezra, don't you? That witch is more than a pretty face. Speak to him, see if you can convince him to help. She's right. I've seen him use wards in his shop. And from what I saw of his magic the other day... You're a genius. I mean, didn't we already think of that forever ago? I'm confused why it's her idea now. Because when we were talking to Augustus, or August, whatever, we were like, we're bringing all these people, that's the plan. And they were like, yeah. Now it's like, what about that person you already mentioned? And I'm like, oh my god, you're so smart. I never could have thought of that on my own. She shrugs as if it's the most obvious statement I could have made. Duh. When you're ready, you know I've got your back. Always. Upon entering the shop, I find chaos. I spot Ezra frantically gesturing at Omen,
The demon's tail is tightly coiled. I'm wary of approaching him after our little incident yesterday, instead choosing to observe from afar. I manage to catch Ezra's eye, and he throws me a sympathetic look. He's stressed, his hands full of bandages and potions. He mutters something quick and sharp under his breath to Omen, who then turns and stares at me with wide, sorry eyes as the witch disappears through his purple curtain. If I ask what's going on, will you give me an answer? The question seems to catch him by surprise. Then he looks away, his lips pursed. He doesn't seem to have forgotten his outburst with me yesterday, or his abrupt departure. Ugh. Okay, guys, I think I'm gonna end it here. Yeah. I'm feeling weird. Let me just save. And let's see, do we get any cool extras? Like, oh yeah, gallery. This is not a very large gallery. Okay, what is the mini story? Oh, they're locked, never mind. That's probably something you get when you beat the game. Well, yeah, I think I'm gonna end stream there. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. I'll be streaming it tomorrow at 8, and I'm doing a collab with Cassiel Aurelius. We're gonna be playing, Power Wash, oh my god. Power Wash Sim. It's one of my favorites. Super chill vibes, chill stream. And I'm gonna be trying some of those new Twitch features where you can do like merge your chats. So it'll be interesting to get to hang out with Cassiel's chat for a bit. But I hope to see you guys there. Thank you so much for coming. Good night. And hope everyone sleeps well.